Well, a few months ago we started a course in mastering design here, in England. At the beginning we were a bit lost, as we were supposed to do a project. There were a few options and we had to select one of them. But one thing was clear. We want to use new technologies to facilitate communication. And after a lot of brainstorming, the idea of creating a new magazine as a project came out. From the experience we had with Mara in knowing the strengths and weaknesses of our online magazine, we embarked on a new journey. After a few meetings and tutorials, we conclude that the days of conventional magazines, that is print magazines, have limited lifespan, especially in the age of new technologies. On one side, we have the cost of production and distribution, which is more higher than an online magazine. Imagine the cost of printing and distribution of a magazine for a global audience compared to an online magazine. And on the other side, and more importantly, are the contents. The conventional design magazines are monthly, or 3-monthly. The world is changing at a rapid pace, and this kind of production cannot continue with that change. The contents are not up to date, not as an online magazine that can be updated every day or every hour or every minute, with the cost almost negligible. Therefore, in the conventional magazine, we could inspire the content structure, design, or the layout and format. So we decided that we had to watch the panorama of digital magazines or journals. After making an initial investigation, we realized that many magazines have problems with design. It is not very innovative and at times difficult to read. We also realized that the best way to organize the content is using a content management system, CMS, created by us or by a free tool like Joomla, Equa, Vanilla, Drupal. This will allow to organize, edit, add, and or delete the content in simpler actions for the editor. Perfect! Now we knew how to differentiate the magazine from the other, improving the design, making use of programming languages, and appropriate use of different formats offered by web. Besides, we know that with the help of a CMS, we can reduce the workload of content management. Now, you only need to define the magazine issue and make a good selection of content. And we decided to do an online magazine designed for the design, which will cover a wide range of valuable options from CAP to product design, the graphic design and interactive design. In the magazine may participate a limited number of collaborators to give us an idea of the world of design, a place where students can learn how it's changing the world of design, and where professionals can disseminate their work, publish their articles and opinions, and compare them with other professionals. This idea is to create a multilingual magazine which will provide the primary content in original version and that will make instant translations of articles with some sections well-defined user-created sections. This idea has undergone many changes. In the research phase of our project, we talked about the bilingual magazine in English and Spanish. But if only we had these two languages, we feel an obligation to translate all the articles, and this means a cost too high. And if you were using a tool for instant translation, for the same cost, you will be able to translate into any language. We know that this tool do not properly translate, but with literal translation, it can give you a basic idea of the article. The general audience usually read cryptic languages, for instance SMS. On the other part, the multilingual magazines promote the use of different languages among our readers. We must also specify that the interface of the magazine, for now, will be in English, and can extend to any language without extra effort. Depending on the demand, we will introduce new languages such as Catalan, Spanish, German. Internet is plural. Most of the population have it. And if the content are created for the audience, we need to take the control of information. The first measure taken is to use collaborators who must be invited in advance to enter the content in the magazine, preventing bad publications without permission of any collaborator. In the future, we thought the idea of creating invitations, and our collaborators will invite others to publish articles. Therefore, if our collaborators are readers and writers of the magazine, they must publish articles easily, and they need to read fluently without get lost in the content and without problems. This is a strong point, because of it depends the success of the magazine. It's called usability. We need to do easy the access to information and the introduction of content. In the cultural field, the magazine will represent a connection between regions or countries, as Catalonia with its Midlands, and why not, in the future, it will allow to link all the cultural trends of the design across Europe. The magazine wants to create a strong impetus for these studies and disseminate the design culture.